Hi, I'm Francesca and this is Law of Attraction Changed My Life. Welcome back. This week I want to talk about choosing fear or love. Everything we do is a decision based on fear or love. I watched an amazing video about this with Will Smith and he explains it very eloquently, a lot better than I can, so I'm going to try and insert a little bit here, but I'm not sure if I'm allowed.
I went skydiving in Dubai, right? And skydiving is a really interesting confront with fear, right? Yeah. So what happens is you go out the night before and you take a drink with your friends and somebody says, yeah, we should go skydiving tomorrow. And you go, yeah, we'll go skydiving tomorrow. Yeah, and you go, yeah, and everybody goes, yeah, right? And you go home and you by yourself, you're like, right? You're like, well, I mean, they was drunk too, right? So maybe they not, maybe, I mean, we don't have to go. We don't have to do it. So then that night you're laying in your bed and you just keep, and you're terrified. You keep imagining over and over again jumping out of an airplane and you can't figure out why you would do that, right? And you're laying there and you have the worst night's sleep of your life, but you still have the hope that your friends were drunk, right? So you wake up the next day and you go, down and you say where you were going to meet and everybody's there. You're like, oh, all right, cool, right? So you get in the van and you don't know that your friends had the same night that you had because they're pretending like they didn't. They're like, yeah, man, my uncle's a Navy SEAL and, this is going to be great. I've been looking forward to this. And you're like, oh, my God. And your stomach is terrible. You can't eat and everything, but you don't want to be the only punk who doesn't jump out of this airplane. So you get there and then you have this safety brief. And you're standing there, and the guys will tell you, well, if the chute doesn't open, what's going to happen is you're doing, well, why the hell, what could happen? That the chute wouldn't open, right? So you do a thing, and what you do is your first jump, you're attached to a guy who is going, he's going to walk you out. So you go, and you get there, and there's an airplane, and nobody's stopping. Everybody's still going. So you get onto the airplane, and you're sitting there, and it's extra because you're sitting on some dude's lap, some stranger. He's sitting on his lap, and it's like, you trying to make small talk. Yeah, man. So you be jumping with people all the time, huh? Right? So, and then you just want to make sure, you got kids, right? You got people you need to see, right? You just want to make sure he's serious, right? So you get in there, so everything's normal. So you fly and you go up to 14,000 feet, and you notice there's a light. It's red, and it's yellow and green, right? So right now the light's red. So then you start thinking at some point the light's going to go green, but you don't know what's going to happen, right? And you wait and it goes yellow and the light goes green and somebody opens the door. And in that moment you realize you've never been in a freaking airplane with the door open. Right? Terror. Oh, sorry, I'm spitting. Oh, sorry. No, terror. Right? So you go, and then, if you were smart, you sat in the back so you don't go first, right? And then people start going out of the airplane. And you go, and the guy walks you up to the end of the thing, and you're standing, and your toes are on the edge, and you're looking out down to death. And they say, on 3. And they say, 1, 2, and he pushes you on 2 because people grab on 3, right? Right? And you go, and you fall out of the airplane, and in 1 second, you realize that it's the most blissful experience of your life. You're flying, right? It doesn't feel like falling, right? It's like you actually are kind of held a little bit by the wind, and then you start falling, and there's zero fear. You realize that the point of maximum danger is the point of minimum fear. It's bliss. It's bliss, and you're flying, right? And you're doing that, and then 20 seconds, 25 seconds, 40 seconds, and you have enough time to just kind of be like, that's that building. I like that one. Oh, you can to see the ocean. Right? You start doing all of that. And the lesson for me was, why were you scared in your bed the night before? What do you need that fear for? Just don't go. Why are you scared in your bed 16 hours before you jump? Why are you scared in the car? Why could you not enjoy breakfast? What did you need that? The fear is fear of what? You're nowhere even near the airplane. Everything up to the stepping out, there's actually no reason to be scared. It only just ruins your day. You don't have to jump. And then in that moment, all of a sudden, where you should be terrified is the most blissful experience of your life. And God placed the best things in life on the other side of terror. On the other side of your maximum fear are all of the best things in life.
For me, two situations in my life where I can clearly see that fear was ruling my life rather than love was in my relationship and in my job. With my job, I was absolutely terrified to give up a salary and a steady income. I'd been brought up, like billions of other people, to believe that you leave school and you go to college and then you find a 9-to-5 job. That's what you do. You work for somebody, you find job security, and that's it. In reality, it's the least secure thing ever, because once you are sacked, or if you decide to leave, you're constantly exchanging your time for money, and that salary doesn't continue if you get sick or move away or decide to go and take a sabbatical for a year. In fact, job security really is building a business that can survive with or without you. But anyway, that's not what this is about. I was in a job that I absolutely hated. I used to wake up every day and dread it. I used to waste my time there. I'd just while away the time. I wasn't truly living my life, but if I was honest with myself, I was absolutely terrified of what giving up a job meant. I was scared that if I had my own time to myself, which I'd never had, because, you go straight from school to college to work, you never actually experience what it's like to have your own time. I was scared that I wasn't going to get up until midday and that I would just be a waster and that I wouldn't do anything. And I'll be honest, that probably did happen for the first 6 months after I quit my job. I had a summer of just getting drunk in the day with this girl I met from California, and we just would get drunk and on my rooftop. So maybe that did happen for a while, but of course that doesn't happen forever. I got my shit together, and quitting my job and setting up my own business and having my own time was the best thing I could have ever done. The thing that held me back from it, I was at my job for 9 years, was fear, 100%. And it's really sad when I look back, because when I was in my 20s, I had a lot of amazing opportunities. I wrote a book, I had a book published, I did a couple of things with TV, and if I had had the time and freedom of not having a job, I don't know where my life could have gone. I honestly, I feel like so much could have happened, but I was restrained by that fear. What is that thing with that modern day slavery? Like, we are modern day slaves because we have that fear of, how will I pay my mortgage? How will I live? And I was ruled by that fear for many years. The other thing was in relationships. I was very, very scared when I first got married that it wouldn't last forever. I was terrified that I would have a baby and be left on my own. That was a big fear for me, that I would be left on my own. As it turns out, I've actually been the one to make a decision to leave my marriage, and my worst fear was being left on my own with a baby. And now it's happened, and not only has it happened, but I've chosen it. I can safely say that 99% of the time, the fear of something happening is definitely worse than it actually happening. When it actually happens, you're like, oh, this is fine. What was I worried about? I'm sure that you can think of loads of examples in your life where the fear of something happening, you think about it, and then when it actually happens, you're like, oh, this is fine. And so I completely resonated with that. I was like, okay, not with skydiving, but with a lot of things in my life, things that I spend my time and my energy, which is so fucking exhausting and so annoying, wasting it on worrying about things and being fearful about things that might happen in the future. And actually, when they happen, or let them happen, or push yourself for them to happen, whether they're good or bad, it's never as bad as the fear. And so that's one thing that for the future I'm definitely going to try and take away. At the moment, real talk, what am I worried about at the moment? I'm terrified about getting divorced because it is it could turn into a big nasty legal battle, and I don't want it to turn into that, because me and my husband, I think, have the potential to be really, really good friends. I'm trying not to be fearful of that. I'm fearful about whether I'm going to have any more children. I'm 32, which I know in London is like young to have children or whatever, but biologically it's old as fuck. I'm terrified. Like, I found myself looking up sperm donors the other day. Like, not seriously, but I just looked on Facebook. There's a documentary on BBC about sperm donors and people that do it like outside of clinics. And I was like, maybe that's what I need to do. And then I was thinking, well, no, maybe I should just go on a Tinder date with a hot guy. And then I was like, Fran, stop thinking about it. Like, I don't need to be fearful of when I'm going to have a second baby. Like, it's going to happen. Don't fucking worry about it. There's other things I'm fearful about. Where am I going to live? My housing situation at the moment is very up and down. In a good way. I'm selling my apartment, and but I'm not going to worry about any of it, because it's all just fear that's in your mind. And doesn't it come back from like back in the day when we were cavemen? Like, you had to be alert and looking out for danger because that's the only way that you survived. And now, because we don't have that same danger, we use that, it converts into like anxiety. Anyway, this is all speculation. I'm not a doctor. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. And yeah, please do subscribe if you like these videos. I make new ones every Friday. I will see you next week. Thank you for watching. Bye.